Since the academic paper is quite a challenging assignment, I'm going to talk you through the instruction. So let's just read and listen to me. Write an academic paper in which you explore and discuss an optional topic. Optional means that you can choose your topic. Use the formal academic style. Your text will be assessed on your language, how you treat the subject, and how you make use of the source material. Choose one of 3 areas for your assignment. And we are going to look at the 3 areas. The first one is fictional literature written in English. And these topics are just suggested. You can come up with your own topic. But as you see, it has to do with writers and literature, all of these topics. If I scroll down this document, you will also see the 2 other topic areas. So the second one is the English language and suggested topics. You can choose one of these, or if you have another idea of writing about the English language, you can do that. And the third one is an English-speaking country. And I've made a list of suggested topics. If you aren't sure of what topic or if the topic that you want to write about is a good one, you can always ask me. Send me a message in the chat. Let's go down a little bit. It says, you may decide on a topic of your own choice as long as it is connected to one of the 3 areas. However, do not try to cover too large an area. Focus on answering one question and go deep into this question instead. On the next page, you will find the instructions for how to write an academic paper. The contents and organization of an academic paper. Follow these instructions. Your paper should consist of 3 parts, and these parts are introduction, the body part, and the conclusion and discussion. Introduction. Here you present the background to the topic in question. You present the purpose, why you write this academic paper, and also the question that you intend to answer. This introduction should not be longer than 10 to 15 lines. Then you come to part 2, the body part. You are not supposed to use this headline or this subheading in your text, but it's called the body part. Explore the topic by references to articles, books, films, interviews, or other ways of finding sources. You should use at least 2 relevant, trustworthy sources in English in order to answer the question of your paper. So you're only supposed to use English sources. Avoid popular publications and user-edited websites such as Wikipedia. Remember to avoid these. The third part is the conclusion and discussion. Answer the main question clearly and discuss the results elaborately. Note that the conclusion and discussion part should be considerably shorter than the body part. Please note that no new information or facts should be given in this part of the paper. The word limit is 2,500 words, but you should write not less than 1,800 words, and then the reference list is not included. Now let's talk a little bit about references, and starting with in-text references, so references within the text. Include in-text references stating the relevant source each time you refer to the background material, So the background material are all your sources. An in-text citation includes the author, the date, and the page number or page numbers. Please note the use of punctuation, spacing, and the order of information in the following examples. So here we have two examples of in-text references. When organizing our time, Adair, and then between brackets, 1988:51, states that, and then we have a quotation within quotation marks, the centerpiece will tend to be goals and objectives. And you see that the full stop is put after the last question mark, the last quotation mark, sorry. Or you can do it in this way, the same information but written in another way. When organizing our time, and then comes the quotation between quotation marks. The centerpiece will tend to be goals and objectives. And then we have the brackets, Adair, 1988:51, and the final bracket, and then full stop. In these examples, Adair is the author, 1988 is the year of the publication, and 51 is the page number where the direct quote can be found. If you have paraphrased one single source in a full paragraph, the in-text reference should be written at the end of the paragraph. Now let's talk a little bit about creating a reference list. All of the sources you refer to in the main body of your assignment must be listed in a reference list. You should only list those sources from which you have either quoted or paraphrased. The sources should be listed alphabetically by the author's surname, the author's last name. Where the author is anonymous or unknown for any one source, insert that source in the alphabetical list using the title of the source instead of the author's name. All sources should be listed together, so there should not be separate lists for books versus journal articles versus electronic sources. All sources should be listed together. The reference list should be on a separate page from the rest of the assignment and should simply be titled References. For books, include the following information: the author's or editor's name or names, the year the book was published, the title of the book, the city where the book was published, and the name of the publisher. And here are two examples. Let's take a look at them. The first one is a book with only one author. And here we have Adair, J, which is his first name, starts with J, and a full stop. Between brackets we have the year of publication, 1988. And then we have the title of the book, Effective Time Management, How to Save Time and Spend It. This is the full title. Wisely is also a part of the title, I'm afraid. And then after the comma, we have the city of where the book was printed or published, and a colon, and then the name of the publisher, and a full stop. So remember to use commas and colons and full stop and brackets in the right places. Now, if you have a book with two authors, you write it like this: McCarthy, P, full stop, and Hatcher, C, full stop. And then in the same way as in the first example. Now, you would probably have some electronic sources, and then you should include the following information. You use the author, the name of the author, the person or company or organization which is responsible for the site, the date when the website was created or last updated, and accessed day, month, year, which means the date you viewed the site, and then the URL or internet address, and you write this between pointed brackets. And if possible, ensure that the URL is included without a line break. And here is an example from the web. International Narcotics Control Board, 1999, United Nations, accessed 1st October 1991, and then between pointed brackets, the URL. In order to have an accurate reference, it's important that you write down the details of your sources as you study. Otherwise, you might forget what sources you have used. If you copy direct quotations, or if you put the author's ideas in your own words, write down the page numbers you got the information from. Finally, just a few reminders. Use the formal style of writing. And read about this in Tools for Writing on the website English 7 Distance. Remember to paraphrase, which means using your own words. Read about paraphrasing on the page Tools for Writing on the website English 7 Distance. You are not allowed to copy text or just change a few words. Your language should be independent of the original source. Organize the text clearly and divide it into paragraphs with a blank space between the paragraphs. Use transitions to link the different ideas and paragraphs. For example, in addition, however, therefore, in conclusion, and so on. And finally, proofread the text to avoid unnecessary spelling and grammar mistakes. Good luck with your assignment.